let's move on to our schlong for the day, which is just a follow-up on a story that we covered last week, which was making all kinds of waves and continues to, and that is the Harrison Butker story. So we talked about it last week, his commencement speech that was getting a lot of play, and a lot of people are super mad at him because he dared to suggest that women love being wives and mothers, and you can't say that.
Oh my God, it's
offensive. You can't say that.
He's so offensive.
So I thought I would just start out, we could start out schlong by reminding everybody that this has been something that Harrison Butker has believed in forever. He gave a commencement address at Georgia Tech last year and said this:
get married and start a family. Wow. I will say this is the most important ring I have right here. Having kicked the game-winning field goal in both the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, I have received a great deal of praise for these successes. They just announced that this Super Bowl was the most watched football game of all time, and yet all of this happiness is temporary. And the truth is, none of these accomplishments mean anything compared to the happiness I have found in my marriage and in starting a family. My confidence as a husband and father, and yes, even as a football player, is rooted in my marriage with my wife, as we leave our mark on future generations by the children we bring into the world. How much greater of a legacy can anyone leave than that?
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
I love him.
It's very sweet. He's just very sweet. And he's not saying, go become a baby factory, ladies. He's not saying that. And so many women took it as that.
Right.
I mean, if he said that, I probably would be offended too, you know, because I don't want a guy saying to me, you have to be a baby factory, Daisy. I don't want a guy saying that to me either, because you and I have had a successful business. We've been in corporate America each together probably for half a century.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we've worked our butts off. We've had successful professional careers. We've been accomplished businesswomen. We've been published authors. I mean, we've done the things, you know? So it's not like we want a dude saying, you have to be at home in a kitchen, because I would fail at doing that. I can't. Okay. All right, Harrison, I can't be in the kitchen. I can't. So that I would fail at that. So I don't want a guy telling me to do that. I don't. But I appreciate this message. I really do, because if there's one thing that I think that this country needs, it's more men saying family is important, you know, and masculinity is not toxic, and women are valued as mothers. That's a wonderful thing for a young man, or a man in general, to say to a bunch of graduates. It's okay to say that. It's okay to have a choice, for women to have a choice, and of saying, okay, well, you can work and you can have children, and both of those things are valued. Why is that so offensive to women? I don't
know. What's crazy too is that we wrote about a similar incident in our book about Natalie Portman, who won an Oscar one year, or some Golden Globe or whatever. And when she went to give her speech, she talked about how the most important role of her lifetime was the new one that she had just achieved, which was motherhood. She had just given birth. She was super emotional about it. And feminists lost their minds. They were so angry that Natalie Portman was making the personal declaration that motherhood was more important than being an actress, as if there was anything wrong with that. Yeah. Everybody can think that if somebody wants to think their career is more important than their family, I guess go do that. But suggesting that most women, as Harrison did in his most recent speech, that most women will probably look at being wives and mothers as being more important than their careers, that's normal. I mean, that's like, I'd think it was weird if a woman thought their career was more important than their own freaking family.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Like, how is this bad?
Yeah, I don't understand it. And then you've got the NFL chastising this man.
Yeah.
And then but it's totally fine for an NFL player to have 10 kids with 5 different women and not marry any of them.
Right.
And we're not chastising that. I'm sorry.
Or to be charged with domestic abuse, as many of them have.
Amen. Exactly. And we're not chastising that behavior. Like, I'm sorry, but what the hell? I feel like your priorities are a little bit off, NFL.
A little bit.
And this is what, so they absolutely have distanced themselves from him and saying motherhood is important, basically.
Right.
Raising a family together as, you know, a mom and dad and kids, that's an important thing. Like, what is going on? And his teammates aren't really coming to his aid, which I find
I haven't heard from many.
Which is really,
maybe we just haven't heard from them, but like,
I
and they are
haven't-
saying
I
things,
haven't
but
really heard much. There was a guy on Twitter over the weekend. His Giant Toad is his name. I saw this and I thought it was really funny because there are women coming out and they're like, there's all sorts of trends on Facebook and stuff. I can tell you about one, but this guy, Giant Toad, he said the woman of the team, like there was a daughter of one of the owners of the NFL,
I have that.
NFL teams. You have it because she was on Fox. But
Mhm.
he said the woman of the team showing the players how to have balls and defend your teammate.
right.
Go
It's a
figure,
great.
right?
She was great. She's absolutely great, and we do have that.
It's lovely. She was lovely about it, and she couldn't have. And I thought to myself, isn't it interesting how women are having to come out and say, yeah, this is a good thing, and this guy is coming out and he's getting attacked for it. Like, don't we want this? Don't we want men to be able to stand up? Like, what are we doing to men if we can't say to men, yay, you for supporting your wife and being a wife and a mother? Don't we want that? I mean,
You would think. I'm just baffled that this has gotten the attention that it has. Like, it's crazy to me that he's become such this loathed figure over his own personal Catholic values that were inspirational. And so,
and
that was a commencement speech.
And that's a great point, Mock, because wasn't that a Catholic school he was talking to?
Very Catholic.
Catholic school I would assume hopefully some of those kids that go to a Catholic school are freaking Catholic. And
nobody ever talks about the massive applause that he got from the audience there. There were maybe 10 girls. In fact, one of the graduates did a TikTok going, it was so awful. And she was like, there were 10 of us that were so mad. Out of the whole graduating class, fine. You 10 girls, go be mad and go enjoy your careers and do you. But
what kills me is that a lot of the women that I see on my Facebook feed who are pissed off about it are Catholic.
I know, right? I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, because one of the chicks that I know who actually I'm pseudo friends with on Facebook, she's like, he's giving Catholics a really bad name. Why?
Oh my God, he's giving Catholics the exact name that they're supposed to have.
Right. Are you also pro-choice? Are you, okay, Nancy Pelosi? I mean, this is the thing. I thought that is what Catholics, you should be applauding this as a Catholic. So I'm really, I'm taken aback by how this guy has just taken a beating for what should be just like a no big deal thing. He just said, yay, mothers are great.
And it was in his personal capacity. So people that are trying to get him fired for this are psycho. And somebody came at me on Twitter saying, oh, so you didn't want Colin Kaepernick to be fired from his job for doing all the activism that he did. And I was like, okay, that is the dumbest comparison I have ever heard.
It is.
Because
really
Colin
dumb.
Kaepernick was actually disrupting his workplace.
Right.
Harrison Butker was not at work. He was not doing anything related to his work. He was speaking at a commencement address in his personal capacity. Totally different. And by the way, I couldn't give a shit if Colin Kaepernick got fired or not. He was a terrible player. He was causing massive chaos, and I don't care. I was not one of the ones going, he needs to be fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people that are drawing that comparison are morons.
Right. Harrison Butker. It's not like these people get paid to do commencement addresses. You know what I mean? They go there and they just give an address, and it's like they're just telling people what they think, and they're trying to be uplifting. And he said some stuff. That's all he did. He just said some stuff. And the stuff that he said, if that offends you, check yourself.
You guys, it's time to talk about dogs. Oh my gosh. This is Rough Greens, the magical green powder that brings your dog's dry kibble to life, because dry dog food is dead dog food. This is what brings it to life with, as you can see, essential vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and digestive enzymes, which were all mixed into this amazing green powder by naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who is an expert on all things dogs. The best part, of course, in addition to their shiny coats and their better smelling breath and their better energy levels, is the fact that they love the taste. They love it. Dogs eat this stuff up,
They
and you
do.
just sprinkle it onto their food, and they're just like it's like a dressing, if you will, for your dogs. They
is.
love it.
It's like gravy for the biscuit, y'all.
And I have a testimonial from Jeff from Denver who said our old dog Jax is 15. So my Ella dog is almost 15.
No.
And was suffering from lethargy and a lot of weakness in his legs. He often seemed confused and had trouble moving around. That has all changed. He is very lively, eats much more regularly, and has tons of energy. He's back to playing with other dogs and with us. We hope this lasts for many more years. It has been a miracle, which is so awesome. I know. And you guys, you can try it for free. You can try a free Jumpstart trial bag from Rough Greens by going to roughchicks.com, RUFF chicks.com, roughchicks.com. Get yourself a trial bag for free. See what your dog thinks. And then I can guarantee you're probably going to be subscribing because it is amazing. Roughchicks.com. And he is clearly a man of huge integrity. There's a little clip I have of him on a radio show or maybe a podcast talking about the vaccines. And back in the day when he was having to go through the worry of, am I going to have to do this in order to keep my job? And this is a guy who is very principled and is willing to stand by what he believes in, as you'll hear in this clip.
I think the only tough thing was for a lot of players, they felt like they didn't have a choice. It was almost like you have to do these things. You got to follow these protocols or else you're not going to have a job and you're going to get cut. But, for me, I just felt in my situation, I talked to my wife and I was fully okay with stepping away from football. I was like, I'm going to stick to my principles.
Wow.
I'm not going to compromise. And if this is my last season, then so be it. And I think in some ways I was an example for a lot of the guys, like, wow, maybe I should have stood up a little bit more. Maybe in the future when there's something that's going to come down where I feel like my freedom's getting taken away and I feel like I don't have a voice, well, I can stick up and stand up for what I believe in. Because at the end of the day, football isn't my life. It's my job. I love it. I love kicking. I love the Chiefs. I love playing. But, I'm a child of God and I'm a husband and father, and that comes before playing football. So if I'm ever doing something that I think goes against those first two things, as being a child of God and as being a husband and father, then, I'm prepared to step away and look for another means to provide for the family.
How could a Catholic be against that? I don't get it. Like,
this is why his jersey has sold out. Like his now is the #1 selling jersey, which I love.
Yeah,
I love that.
Especially if you're a Catholic, like reassess your Catholicism. If you're mad at this guy, if you're a woman and you're like, oh my God, he gives Catholics a bad rap, you probably need to leave the church. Seriously. And that's not hyperbole. Like you're doing Catholicism wrong because this guy's doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
He really is. I mean, I just love that. He's obviously a man of character, and why people are trashing him. Yes, Irene Curtis. That's right. Irene, thank you. She says his jersey is selling out. That's right.
Yeah.
Robin Zecca, thank you. Robin said about P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever. Just excuses, did not mention nor apologize to his victim. Exactly. Missy Sanders, thank you. Missy says JFC started everything when she asked MTG if she knew why they were there, as if to say MTG was an idiot. Okay. Jasmine Crockett started everything when she asked Marjorie if she knew why they were there. Yeah. I mean, the whole fight is, I can't. It's so dumb. So dumb. Andrea Cleaver, thank you. Andrea says they can scream death to America, but Harrison's religious beliefs trigger these idiots. What is wrong with our country? Great question.
You have time. We have a list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gracie Hunt, who, as you mentioned, is the daughter of the Chiefs owner, was on Fox and Friends and talking. They asked her what she took away from Harrison's speech, and she was precious. Here she is.
We're going to start with you because the couch would like to know, as America would, the reaction from the Hunt family regarding the kicker, Harrison Butker.
Well, I can only speak from my own experience, which is I've had the most incredible mom who had the ability to stay home and be with us as kids growing up. And I understand that there are many women out there who can't make that decision, but for me in my life, I know it was really formative in shaping me and my siblings to be who we are.
So you understood what he was talking about?
For sure.
Okay.
And I really respect Harrison and his Christian faith and what he's accomplished on and off the field.
Yep. So that's the woman. That's the woman of the team showing the players how to have balls and to defend the teammate. She's the one that's defending him when the men should be standing up for him. God bless her for doing that. I mean, she seems like a lovely, lovely young lady.
She's gorgeous too.
Beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh
and her mom and dad did a great job, you know.
Clearly.
And it is wonderful that her mom could stay home. And she's right. Not all of us can do that. But isn't that wonderful that her mom could? And I think, and it's great that she had the opportunity to be able to do that. And, you know, God bless her for standing up for him.
I love that.
I do
and then lastly, Bill Maher talked about this on his show, and he doesn't understand what all the fuss is about. Here he is.
He said, some of you, talking to the women here, some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world. Okay, that seems fairly modern. But I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I don't see what the big crime is. I really don't. And I think this is part of the problem people have with the left, is that lots of people in this country are like this. Like he's saying, some of you may go on to lead successful careers, but a lot of you are excited about this other way that everybody used to be. And now can't that just be a choice too? And I feel like they feel very put upon, like there's only one way to be a good person. And that's to get an advanced degree from one of those asshole factories like Harvard.
So true. He's right.
I know.
He's 100% correct. I can't God, I hate it when I agree with him, but he's right. And he's agreeing with us. He's absolutely right. Like that. What is the thing that you're it's awesome to be successful in your career. And that's what we've always said. We love what we do. My God, we love what we do. We want to do it forever. Right. But at the end of the day, my most amazing accomplishment in life is my kid. You know, I mean, I love being a mom. I love being a mom. Like when I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to be like, God, I wish I would have worked more.
Right. Exactly.
I
mean, the fuss about this is out of
it's so
control.
Stupid. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and it really, if you ask these women who are so offended, is that what you're going to be saying on your deathbed? Or are you going to be like, God, my work was my most amazing accomplishment in life? I mean, if it is, and I feel sorry for you. I really do. I feel sorry for you.